Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yemisi, and if you're new here, you're welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe so that you can be a part of this family. Okay, in this video I'm going to be sharing factors that you need to consider before applying for a school, whether university or college here in Canada. So some people have sent me messages and some people have just been kind of curious as to what are the factors they need to check or factors that they need to consider before applying to any college or any university here in Canada. And this video is going to be quite detailed because you guys know that I got you guys. Okay, yeah, so as usual, if you see me looking down, it's because I have them written down in a book here and I do not want to miss out on any important information. And also, before we start, as usual, a quick disclaimer: I'm not an immigration agent, neither am I an immigration lawyer, neither am I an immigration consultant, but I'm making this video based on my experience and also my friends, and yeah, I just feel like it's going to be very useful for you. So without further ado, let's go into this video. The first one I have here is acceptance rate for international students. So I'm sure I'm talking to international students here. And before you want to embark on any journey of picking a school or attending or trying to attend a college or university here in Canada, you have to be sure that this school actually have a good acceptance rate for international students, so that you know if you stand the chance to actually be admitted in that school. I mean, you don't want to start applying to so many schools because you don't want to be spending dollars and dollars. Okay, so yeah, the first thing you need to check is to know how much they admit international students, and whether people really go to these universities from your home country. Okay, because for instance, if the acceptance rate is, say, 10%, you want to be sure that within that 10% you stand a chance to be part of the international students and we're going to that school. Okay, so that's the first one I have here. The second one is the documents to submit. So you guys already know that different schools have different requirements. Some schools will tell you that they want you to present your IELTS. Some schools will tell you that they want you to present your WES report to be sure that your undergraduate study is also equivalent to their undergraduate study here in Canada. And some other schools will mandate you to show your transcripts, and in that transcript they want to be sure that the first 2 years maybe you have a particular percentage that they admit. Okay, so different schools have their different requirements, and you don't want to just apply to any school. You want to be sure that these requirements are something you can meet. Okay, and yeah, so that you don't have to just keep spending money on admission, because even though getting admission in Canada is pretty much easy, I won't say easy because a lot of people still get rejected when applying for admission, but I would also say that a lot of times people don't check the requirements and people just overlook some requirements. So before you try to apply or consider to apply to any school, please make sure to check the requirements and be sure that these are the conditions that you can meet, because if not, you're definitely going to be rejected. The third one on my list here is tuition fees. You guys know that every school has different tuition fees. Like this school has its own fee, and even within a school, different departments, different programs have different tuition fees. So one of the first things to consider is for you to check if the tuition is what you can meet, because sometimes people come here with the understanding that, oh, when I come to Canada I will always be given opportunity to work, and because of that they kind of think their whatever they'll be earning here would help them pay their school fees, even though it might be true for some. But I'll always advise people that you don't come here with that mentality. Personally, I feel like if you're coming down here, always ensure that the tuition fees are kind of paid by your sponsor or will be paid by your sponsor, and then the living expenses is something that you can cover, because yes, if you get a job here in Canada, you can definitely meet your living expenses here in Canada. So if you want me to make a separate video on if you think someone should work and study, I'm going to give you a breakdown of expenses here in Canada, so that you can know and try to measure up what you think, if you actually can still continue with the notion that you can come here to work and study, foot your bills, foot your tuition. Okay, so if you guys want me to make that video, let me know in the comment section and definitely make that video for you. Okay, yeah, so for tuition fees, you want to be sure that you can meet the tuition, because some tuition fees are quite expensive from the others. So yeah, you want to check different schools, the program you are going for, check different schools and kind of like check the amount, the tuition fees, compare them, and then after then you can now consider this school and say, okay, this school, I can measure up with your standard, I can pay this tuition fees. The fourth one on my list is the school's location. Okay, this school location will also in a way result to your cost of living. Yeah, so you guys already know, or if you don't know, places like Vancouver, Toronto, and which one right now? I can't remember the third one, but like those places can be quite expensive for you to live in, whether house rent, whether cost of living can be very expensive compared to some other parts of Canada. So before you come here, you want to like be sure of the province you're coming to, if you can match up with the cost of living in that province, and also like just, you know, be sure that that is what you can. You don't want to come here and feel stranded or like be stranded. So always make sure that you check the cost of living of the province that you are going to. That is the province that the school, your intending school, your proposed school is located in before you pick that school or before you apply for admission, so that you know you are clear on that before you come down here. Okay, this next one is going to be interesting for you guys, because I know that majority of we international students, when we're coming to Canada, one of the things that we would never want to leave out of our plates is the fact that, oh, can we walk while we are studying? So yes, this is another factor to consider. You want to be sure that this school that I'm going to, hope the admission is one that is not going to give me condition that is to say that, oh, while you are studying you cannot school, something like that, because you cannot work in Canada if you are having a study that is just a program that is just for 6 months or less than 6 months. And also you cannot work while studying if your program is an English, like you're coming here to study English as a second language, or you're coming here to study French as a second language. I'm going to leave the link of this particular explanation in the description box so that you can check it out and also read for yourself. I mean, it will help you more to like understand what I'm saying. Okay, so there are some conditions whereby you cannot work while you're studying. So before you embark on the journey of applying to any school here in Canada, you want to like ensure that, okay, can you work while studying, except if you don't intend to work while studying. But if you intend to work while studying, then please check this link and also make some research by yourself before coming to Canada to school in your proposed school. The next tip or the next point that I have here is to ensure that you check that the school, your proposed school, your intending school that you're coming here to, enroll in is an approved DLI school. So DLI is an acronym for Designated Learning Institute or Designated Learning Institution. Okay, so I'm also going to leave a link in the description box so that you can check and be sure that your intending school is also part of the approved DLI list here in Canada. And this link is actually on the CIC website, but anyways, I'm going to leave the link there. So please make sure to check before you come to Canada or before you apply to that school at all, because if that school is not an approved DLI, then you cannot have access to postgraduate work permit. Also, that brings me to explaining that in Canada, people have different years of postgraduate work permit depending on how many years their course is. So if your program is a 1-year course, then you're entitled to only 1 year postgraduate work permit. But if your program, which most of the time master's program is always like 2 years, then you'll be entitled to 2 to 3 years postgraduate work permit. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the description box for those that know this particular point better. But yeah, colleges are most likely 1-year programs, and they're always entitled to 1-year program. So for most of us, like I know that most international students come to Canada, and when they are done, they most likely not want to go immediately. So if you are in that shoe, then you probably want to go to a school that is on the approved DLI list, so that you can always be given postgraduate work permits when you're done with your study here in Canada. Next point on my list is job prospects. Of course, you already know that we have different provinces here in Canada, and each province has like different skills that they are kind of popular in. So I don't really know much about this, but I know that, for example, places like Toronto, they are kind of like business oriented places. Alberta has like that, Calgary has like IT professionals and like that and in Saskatchewan we have more of NGOs. Saskatchewan is not so big, but like they have a lot of NGOs, they have a lot of you know, small scale stuff here. So before you apply for any school, you want to be sure that at the end of your study you'll be able to get a job in that province. Although I know that this one is not really what people look at, but like it's also a factor to consider when you're applying for a school here in Canada. The last point that I have here, and the most important point if you ask me, is the weather. Guys, the weather varies here in Canada. Right now Toronto is quite hot. I spoke to a friend of mine this morning and she was telling me that Toronto is quite hot, but right here in Saskatchewan this morning, even though this is like spring summer season, it still rained and it still snowed. So before you come down here to Canada, you want to be sure of the province that you are going to in terms of weather, because I mean, I know that a lot of people cannot cope with weather, even though this one not everybody can really cope with the weather, you know, cold weather, when it's extremely cold. And yeah, please try to make your findings, try to make your research on the weather conditions in different provinces here in Canada, because you don't want to come here and start regretting, okay? This is also a very important point, because some of my friends will tell me, Yemisi, what about the weather condition here in Saskatoon at the moment? Do you think it's okay for me to, you know, come to Saskatoon? Do you think this place is okay for job prospects? Do you think this place is okay for me in terms of DLI and all of those things? That is why I put up all these factors together, all these points together, so that you can consider all of this before you apply to any school in Canada. And I hope that this video is very useful for you. Yes guys, you can share this video to your friends so that they can be also aware of all of these factors. I know a lot of people want to come to Canada to study, and these factors are very important and to be very, very useful for them while trying to apply for a school year in Canada. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like. If you found this video useful, please do not forget to like. Also share to your friends, like I said earlier. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe guys, I can bring in a lot of informative content to you guys, so you don't want to miss out on any of those important information. Okay, all right, I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay safe. Bye.